Hi everyone, welcome to Cat's Creations live on Friday night, where tonight I am going to bring you a whole new design using a Ghost Wreath Attachment and this adorable sign from Jane's Front Door Decor. So I can't wait for you guys to see how simple this is and uses very minimal supplies, in the fact that if you have leftovers like I do sometimes on a 10-inch Deco mesh roll, this is going to be a really good and fun design for you. So first of all, I want to welcome you. If you are new here, let us know. We'd like to say hello. Let us know where you're from. Sometimes you find a craft connection buddy on Facebook Lives just by the simple thing of, hi, I'm from so-and-so, or I'm so-and-so from so-and-so, and then you find out that you happen to be in the same city or nearby city. YouTube subscribers, if you'd like to know when we drop a new video, make sure you click the subscription bell. That would be in the upper right hand corner, and that will let you know whenever we upload a new wreath making tutorial. It's not, I'm like thinking, it's not always wreath, sometimes we do everything else. Yes, whenever we update a new Facebook Live. So this is using a 14-inch, what we call a work frame wreath. There are two different types. There are ones that are called pencil ties, in which they're very thin, they're very stiff, and then there's also work frames that are called tinsel ties, which are kind of a little bit more fat and fluffy. So this one happens to be a 14-inch work frame wreath. You'll sometimes see them listed like 15 to 24 inches. It just means that, you know, depending upon how you measure on the outside, the ring itself is only 14 inches wide, but by the time you finish, it could yield anywhere from a 15 to 24 inch. This one today will finish at 26 inches, and it'll be roughly about 5.5 to 6 inches deep. So this work frame wreath you can find just about anywhere now. Thankfully, the supply chains are starting to come back in. This one just happens to be a purple one, and we're going to use a 21-inch roll of the orange, green, and purple. This isn't what you would think. Like originally when I first got it, I thought it was a high foil. It is in the parts where you have the colors. Now where you have the black, it is still just a regular black deco mesh, which means about one black foil for every 4 columns. But you're going to see what an impact this makes. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to secure my 21-inch mesh to the frame, which is super simple. I'm just going to take and gather it all right here. And I always like to start on the inside. I'm going to drop this below. That way it keeps it out of the way. And since I like to start on the inside, I'm going to take this bundle. I'm going to go upside down through the frame and right in the middle of one of my tinsel ties. I'm going to take a 6-inch zip tie, and I'm going to zip tie that right to my frame, right in the middle, as soon as I can find the other end, to my tinsel tie, just like this, right to the frame. Pull it nice and tight, then go ahead and remove it and flip it back over, and now you're ready to begin. Now, this has 9 on the inside, and then it's 9 on the outside. So this one has a total of 18. So it's kind of a little weird twist, but you'll see how we incorporate and make that work in the end.
Irina asks, isn't this the same as the other day? No.
A little bit of a twist. So if you're in my private group, you kind of got a little sneak peek. This one is a little bit different, but still very much the same. So we are doing 8-inch poof bundles.
8-inch poofs instead of 10-inch.
Oh, did I do 10? Sorry. Okay, we're going to do 10.
10.
10-inch going right into each one of our tinsel ties. And I'm not going to fluff until the very end. So just constantly pulling out, measuring 10, open that up. Sometimes they just get in the way. Plop that right on the inside.
Halloween is selling really good right now, right?
2 twists, yeah. Halloween should be what you're making. If you think about it 2 months out in advance, we're in July, August, September, October. You should be making Halloween. And if you don't do Halloween, then definitely be making sure you have plenty of fall. That could go either way for people who want to decorate for Halloween with a fall design. Maybe just something with a pumpkin theme. So another 10 inches. And I'm pretty consistent on my sizes. So there's another one. Measure out another 10. Gonna drop that right in here. Trying to push the other ones out of the way. 2 twists. Measure out another 10.
Hi Evie. She said it's been a long time since you've been able to catch a video. Hope you're doing okay.
Yes. Welcome. So there's that. Pull out another 10. Plop this one right inside.
And it said under fire restriction here in Central Washington State.
Fire restriction, what does that mean?
It'll be hot here next week. Everywhere Washington's going to be up in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, I know. You guys are going to have your first heat wave. I think that's going to start to become the new norm now.
Yeah, Audrey. Hi, Peggy. Yeah.
Okay.
Feel free to like and share. Appreciate it.
Yes, so if you like this design and want to replicate it once you get everything in, click the share button down below. It'll kind of put it to your page. It's so much easier to find. So right there, I've already done the 9, right? Yes, 9 to the inside. So I'm gonna just measure another 10, and instead of me going from here to here, I'm gonna skip it and go to the opposite side. Because 10 inches for a little jump like that is a little small.
Then it said there's no campfires or outside burning.
Okay, which makes sense. So people can't burn their trash, I guess. Another 10 inches. And I'm gonna start pushing the ones in the middle back to the inside so that you can see I'm just, again, putting my little bunches, 2 twists.
Everyone's just joining in.
Measure them out. This is gonna actually go really quick, but it's gonna pack a really big design in this. So yes, it was fun to experiment in the private group, and I was like, man, that was such a fun design, and I've had so many people ask about it, so I thought, you know what, I'll show you how we did it.
In the public.
In the public group. Yes. So this is a really good technique if you're using wreath attachments. Hint, hint, hint for people who are getting the premium boxes. I think I have 4 more wreath kits that have, not him, not the ghost, but have wreath embellishments in it, like the snowman. I think I have 3 different types of snowman, and then I have a Santa. So this is an amazing technique, and you will love the finished design. So I have those already in my shop. So I restocked kits for you guys. I have new Christmas kits. I think I have 2 fall, and then I have 1 Halloween left. The Halloween are going fast. Okay, here's another one. And this mesh offers a really good coverage to the bottom. Ooh. Trying to just gather that in a big heap, like so. 2 twists, and then this is where we jump down, so I still need to connect that piece. So I'm going to measure out one more time. I'm going to open this one. We're going to plop that right on the inside. 2 twists, and then because this mesh is too gorgeous to just waste, I'm going to show you how to do a zigzag on here and run out the rest of your mesh. So we still haven't fluffed yet. So we're measuring 10 inches, and so I'm going from the bottom and I'm going to go up to the top. So the one on the inside, 10 inches, right into the top. Just kind of flop that in there. 2 twists. We're trying to get my measurements. So we are skipping one of the twist ties to the outside, and you're going to go to the very next one, right to the outside. So you're kind of going inside outside, but skipping every other one to the outside. 10 inches. So I'm going to go up, find my interior one. Trying to keep the other mesh out of the way. Grab my other tinsel tie. 2 twists. Measure out again. We're not going to the one right below. We're going to drop it right over here. You can see it's getting thicker and thicker. Okay, measure out another 10. Yeah, we're going to go right up to the inside again. Make sure I can find that. Pop it right to the inside. Measure out 10. And we're going right to the outside. 2 twists. Measure 10. Trying to find my opening. Here it is. Right up here. 2 twists. We are measuring out the last 10. This is going right to the bottom. And then I'll show you how much mesh we have left. A little bit. Pretty much like that much.
Just joining in, I'm using a Dollar Tree frame this time.
No, this is a work frame. Yes.
Purple work frame.
It is a purple tinsel work frame. So I'm going to cut that excess off. Make sure it fits in the trash can.
The mesh you've had a long time, but where did you get it originally from?
This mesh is from Craft Outlet.
Craft Outlet?
Yeah. So I'm going to take the leftover piece. It's going right to the inside. Okay. I'm going to fasten this one with a zip tie right to the frame. So as soon as I can find my zip tie end. These are always so much fun. Got the end. Want to make sure it contains the entire bundle. Pull it through to make sure that's nice and snug. Zip tie it tight.
Well, thank you, Tara. She said I sent you some starts today when I was watching the replay.
Oh, nice.
I got to see it yet because I've been sick with COVID. Well, I hope you're recovering, Tara.
Yes.
Hope you're feeling better.
But thank you for your stars. Okay, so I'm just going to clean up my starting piece because remember that was just like everything. So here's my end, here's my start, here's my end. So I started and ended at the same location. I just secured to the inside and secured to the middle. Now, this is what it looks like. Now we're going to fluff it. So we are going to start with the inside pieces, and all you're doing, it's because they're in little poof ball bundles, trying to find the insides. You are just going to pull them all apart. There we go.
And this, I ordered 2 Christmas kits and I love them. One is
Isn't
for a gift to my sister and the other is for a crafting.
Nice. I like them because The biggest compliment I get is that people like how everything is already color coordinated. Like all the ribbon matches, everything is done for you. You don't have to go to 2 or 3 different other online stores, try to hit a minimum. We match everything to whatever the design is that you've chosen. Let me get this one. So I'm just sitting here pulling the little fluff balls apart, just kind of making it nice and fluffy, and it's filling in the middle perfectly. So we're just like stretching out the balls. So just put your hands underneath and just kind of pull them apart so that they're all nice and fluffy. There we go. When you get 3 rows in there, it's kind of hard to figure out, am I fluffing an inside one, an outside one, a middle one? Okay. So remember, we've got 9 bundles on the inside, 9 bundles to the outside, but it's important that you pull all those apart and really fluff them up. That will make for a very full wreath. And it'll give you the opportunity to see all those bands of color. I think this should be the last one. For the inside. Yep. Okay, now we're gonna go to the outside. So I'm gonna just start on the outside and do the exact same thing. This is what I'm doing in a sense. I'm just putting my hands underneath and fluffing all the ribbon, all the Deco mesh up so that we're separating all those colors. Okay. If I happen to grab a crisscross piece, I'll just do it while it's there. Got that one working right here. Grab the outside one. And I don't like to see the unfinished edges or the raw edges of the mesh. So I will take my time and just really finesse that and get them to kind of go to the center. And I want to make sure I find all my exterior pencil or tinsel ties because I need those for the outside.
How much are the kits?
The kits vary, so they start at $55 and you get everything, the sign, the form, the pipe cleaners, the, did I say Deco mesh? Deco mesh, and all the ribbons to do outside tails, half bows, and a bow, a full-size bow with plenty of material left over. So if you click on each item description, it'll tell you what's included in that kit.
Judy said, I enjoy watching you. Thank you, Judy. Hi, Jane hi from Juanita. Sarah said, I love that mesh. So did Gail. Gail's mesh is amazing.
I know.
It's really bright.
It's funny too, because I didn't think I had any more of this. So when I walked out to the garage to see what I had to do this technique, I was like, ooh, hey, I have one more left.
Was it just one more? I thought you had 2.
No, just this one. Just this one. And it's okay that the purple tinsel ties blend so that they don't stand out. I'm okay with that. Some people want them to kind of, you know, stand out. But these are a flat tinsel. They're not a glitter. So we're gonna elevate this design so that we add that sparkle all the way through. almost finished.
So Paula said, how do you go about ordering them? I'm new to your site. I just posted the link.
Yeah, so if you click the link on the bottom, that'll take you to all the kits. So
Take it to your site. Yeah.
it'll take you to the site. So if you're on the home page, just scroll down and wreath kits are just posted right to the home page. Okay, so making sure I have all my tinsel ties to the outside. I think I've gotten them all. So let's make sure. Ties. Ties, ties. It just makes it so much easier if you just take the time. So that is your fullness of your entire design. So now we're gonna kind of elevate it another level. So, and it looks really pretty like this. So I'm gonna show you a nice way that you can add more dimension, or if you're using a deco mesh that might be a little bit thinner and you want to kind of maybe add more color, maybe not so much ribbon. So if you take, this is where I was talking about using leftovers. I had some rolls of purple, orange, and lime green left over. So I wood burn cut them, which means they're cut with a wood burning tool. And I cut them to 10-inch pieces. Let me move this over. And then I take my Bodabra, and then I made in each of the outside 9 twist ties, we are going to add some curls. So this is made with wide foil mesh. You can find that on Craft Outlet or wherever you buy your online supplies. And to start the curl, you just basically fold up about 1 inch of your mesh and then just roll it. And then you slide it inside your Bodabra. So it's kind of like an extra set of hands to kind of hold them in position. Slide them inside. This is like leftover Hobby Lobby mesh that I had. So I cut these ones a little bit bigger. These ones are 13 inches because I wanted them to be a little thicker on the color, just like that. And then you're gonna take a zip tie and you're going to make them into a little crisscross pattern, trying to keep them as even as possible so you don't have like one short curl. You know, you want them all, you kind of want to get it right in the middle. And I'm going to take a zip tie and I'm going to zip tie the bundles together, just like that. Snip that off, and then we are going to take these little trios of curls and we're going to add them right to the outside, just like this. One twist, and we have a bundle of curls, just like that. So I am doing this because I have them all pre-done, all in their little curl buddies. So we are adding these just to the outside 9. Why? Because the ghost is going to take up the entire center along with our sign. So it's kind of a waste to add them when you're not even going to see them, because the ghost is going to take up all that space. And you can rotate, you know, whatever color you want to be, you know, if you want more purple on top, then you just rotate your little trio. But I'm going to show you how incredible just this addition will make your wreath look phenomenal.
Happy Friday, Lenore and everybody.
Happy Friday, everyone. I am thrilled it's Friday. It's been a busy week. Let's push orange at the top. Another bundle. And again, you don't have to add these. It's just an option. I'm trying to find my other. There he is. Let's go with green. on the up if we can. And you want to try to get them seated in there as far in as possible, because you still need that space for ribbon. So you need to make sure you have some excess. So right there, we have mixed and matched all of our mesh tubes and curls just to the outside, just like that. Okay? Now you're gonna take your Ghost Plush. We're gonna remove the tags. And I think the Ghost right now is sold out for the next 3 months. So this is the last one I have. He comes with a multitude of different places that you can hang him, but I like his arms to be a little free flowing so that you can actually move his arms. So I just like to remove the wire from his hands, and then we'll attach his head and the 2 pieces on the back. So you're gonna kind of figure out where you want him to go and make sure that all your wires are where they need to be. You have the option of making your ghost swag to the left or swag to the right. You just would move your the hanger parts whichever way you want. So if you wanted him to go this way, you're welcome to do that. If you want him to swag the other way, then you would just make sure you line him up. And I'm going to try to stick his lower half in first. So he's got some really thick tie downs, wire tie downs. They're very thick. I like the ones at the top because they're a little thinner. But we're going to attach this right to the frame, kind of push it down about as far as you'd like it to go. I just usually give them 2 twists in case I have to make adjustments. And his lower half is all wired. So if you wanted to pose him, you are welcome to pose him. Yeeks. What are you doing? You go unable to zoom the other way. Oop.
You get more of an angle when you do this one.
2 twists. Okay. We're gonna flip him up. Now remember, his sign is gonna cover up the gap between his middle and the bottom. So it's gonna sit right in here, nice and plushy, nice and plushy, just like that. So you wanna make sure that you have him lined up. When I did this the last time, we kind of had to make a couple of adjustments to figure out where he was gonna fit. So I'm happy with right where that's at. So I've got to wire all this in and get that down to the frame. Gotta try to find my frame. Okay, there's that one. Gotta work it down through all those layers of mesh. So again, do the same thing. Push them down as far as you want them to go. 2 twists.
Brenda, I guess you could if you kind of could figure out the pattern for it and make your own.
Make your own,
Yeah,
absolutely.
People know how to soak it through this.
Yes, you could. I'm just not that skilled.
If we had the pattern, we could definitely do it.
I think you could kind of figure out how to make the pattern. I don't think it's that difficult. I'm just trying to find my frame with my wires. So I like his hands to go in between the tubes. 2 twists, just in case we need to move them. I'll double check the width of my sign. Happy with the way that looks. And let's attach his head to the wreath.
So Barbara, if you're not getting notifications, all you have to do is click on the video right now. 3 dots in the upper right corner. Click on that, and you should see something that says turn on notifications.
Yes, so Facebook is in the works of updating pages. So Facebook business pages, there's a lot of people who are claiming they're not being notified. It's super simple. If you're not, just go on to anyone's video. Like Steve says, click the 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner. It'll open up another sub menu, and then you can make sure your notifications are turned on or turned off. Now with groups, it's totally different. Some groups, you know, you have to get onto that whole text thing, but that's something outside of Facebook. So just keep in mind, when Facebook starts making changes, everything almost gets set back to a default. So super simple. You just have to go back in and turn everything back on again.
Sorry, it was Sarah that said it. People who could sew could always make one.
Oh, gotcha. So now we're gonna attach a sign. So I'm just gonna use my Beadsmith metal hole punch, and I'm gonna punch 2 holes in the side. And then I'm gonna use some 22 gauge floral wire to attach the sign. You don't need a ton. There's like a good enough piece. I wanna say that's probably about 18 inches. Maybe not that much.
You should tell me the funny thing about you ordered more 22 gauge.
Oh yeah, so here's the thing. I ordered a whole spool full of 22 gauge floral wire from Amazon. Turns out it's like 28 gauge. I don't know what they did, but I don't know if the package was mismarked, but it is not 22 gauge.
So depending upon where it comes from, and I think more likely it probably came from China. If it comes from China, you really want to make sure that you're trying to buy something in America, because China's gauge sizes are different than
yeah, but
US.
Sometimes you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
It is, you know,
You
there's no way
careful.
of you knowing. You can always send it back. Amazon's really good with their returns. I just figured, you know what, I'll end up using it someplace else. But it was so thin, I was just like, wow, that's really scary. I would not use that to secure my signs. So this sign is from Jane at Jane's Front Door Decor. If you'd like to order from her, she's on Etsy. She also has her own website. This is a 6x12 sign. We're gonna go ahead and wire that down to our frame as well. Just making sure we've got a really good snug fit so we don't ruin the illusion. So just kind of figure out where you want it to fit. Go ahead and do your 2 ties just in case you need to make adjustments.
That's another good benefit for the private group members is, Jane, if you order signs and you're in the private group, you get a discount.
Yes, you do. Oops, trying to get it down there. Right to...
Terry, she used to use pipe cleaners on the sign.
You could use pipe cleaner still.
Yeah.
I just like using the floral wire because sometimes I don't like to see my pipe cleaner on the outside. So nice 2 twists. Kind of lines up perfectly with our little boo guy. Perfectly. His arms are free floating, so if people wanted to decorate or pose them in whatever way they could, they'd have to add wire to them because it was meant to secure them into a one type of position and not have them move. Okay, we are now going to embellish. Super simple. On this design, no bow. So we are going to definitely elevate the ribbon to the outside, right where we put in all of our curls, because that's what we see. So what we are doing, a new technique, we are taking 2.5 inch mesh and we're making that into a 24 inch half bow. So we are going to basically take this and bring it in about 8 inches. Same thing on the other side. Is that right? Yes. Make a little loop. Open that loop. Okay. You're going to twist that to the side. Oop. Trying to figure out where these would need to go. These are I'm actually going to start the first one by his head so that they kind of wind up where they're supposed to. Let me see. Well, I can do it here. So they're supposed to be right next to his arms.
And yes, that is a 2.5 inch half boat.
It is a 2.5 inch half boat. So we're just flipping this around. Just like that. So this is the look we're going for. If you want to cut your tails a little bit shorter, you can. So we're alternating these every other one. So right inside, 2.5, open that up, flip it around. So we're going to skip here, and we're putting it right here at the very bottom of our ghost. 2 twists.
He was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
That is a great idea.
Right? I told you you wouldn't want to miss this. I think I'm actually going to bring this down. Now, when I did this in my private group, we had them cut at 27 inches, and they felt a little long. So you as the designer just have to come up with where do you want it to end to look. So I'm taking about 1 inch maybe off of that. So straight up here. Flip that out so that that kind of stops right where our curls do. That means I'm going to adjust this one really quick.
So you said 27 inches, so you've gone down to like 25?
No, these were 24. So,
22.
Yeah, it just depends though. Wait, cut them at that length, and then you might want them a little bit longer.
Right.
So you decide. As a designer, you can decide what works for you. Okay, so we're just going around every other one. One up here is by his head, so that means that you will have 5 of these. Whoop. Super simple. Right above his head, which is kind of nice. Open it up nice and pretty. We're going to fluff that out. Okay, doing the same thing. I like my V's pretty deep. Okay, spinning them around. 2 more to go. 8 inches in. 8 inches in. 2 twists. We're going to open him up and then cut him down. And I could have made my loops a little larger, and then I didn't have to cut so much of my tails off. So again, that might depend on you. You might want to have smaller loops or larger loops, and then you don't have to cut so much off your tails. Just like that. Do the last one. 8 inches in. No, that's 10 inches, girl. Right here at the bottom. Yes. So there's 2, one on either side of his little ghost tail, I guess. We will trim this up. Fan that out. One more. Okay, now the opposite side, right? The every other one. Well, we're gonna add a little cute boo ribbon along with this Halloween plaid glitter. So we have these cut to 14 inches. We are just going to place one on top of the other. We're going to fold them in half to find middle. We're going to pinch those together. Those are going on the other pipe cleaners where we don't have something already in there, and we are just going to fan them out so they kind of correlate between the pipe cleaners, or the little curls. And we're just going to have these fun little wispy little bows like that. And I alternate as I go around, putting one on top of the other. So both of the 1.5 inches are cut to 14-inch pieces. Again, you know, depending upon your look and your layout, what you like, you might want to cut them shorter. Find a length that's comfortable for you. So there's those nice little splashes of color, and we cut 4 of each color. And then these are going on the very top, right next to our ghost head. Oop. Yeah, I had that one right. Again, if you want to put a little bit of a curl to it, if you just run them through your finger, you can get them to kind of spiral into a little curl, just like that. Last one. Flipping him up.
So Nancy said, or Kathy said, so you could do a 2-inch half bow on any wreath?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you don't have to, you know, be limited to, well, this is the recipe for that. I mean, when designers show you the design, just think of it like a recipe. This is what worked. If you want to replicate that exact design, if you want to do something different, then you can alter that. You know, you can go half bows all the way around if you want. I kind of like that you have some tails, you have some loops on here, but we're still not finished. So we're going to take some of this Tinsel Flex tubing. You can find this again at Craft Outlet. I'm going to take about 6 inches, and then I'm going to make a set of double loops, just like this. Cut them to the end, and these are going to go right inside where we have those the ribbons, the 1.5 inch ribbons, just to kind of make that a little bit prettier.
One thing you don't have to follow any specific design is just experiment.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Try something new, and you might create, you know, the next viral thing that everybody wants to make.
Wow, he's so cute.
Isn't he adorable?
Evelyn said, I have this ghost attachment. I missed this whole thing. I'll have to watch the replay. Yeah, that'll give you
an idea of what to do with him.
Right.
He is available. This is the last one that I am making for 2022. So this guy is available in my website if you want to purchase this wreath. You will have the last one for 2022. So this is the last.
This is on LinkedIn here. That's so cute. Where did the ghost come from?
Well, he came from Craft Outlet, but he is sold out for about the next 90 days. You may find him lingering somewhere on somebody else's website, but the ghosts generally by this time are all sold out.
Yeah, you could probably try to Google something like Ghost Plush Wreath Attachment or something and see. There might be a store here or there that has one or two.
Yeah, I think I looked. I didn't find any. So, but I wasn't like aggressively pursuing it. And then again, you have to figure out, well, what's the most you want to pay? Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes you look at that and you're like, oh, I don't want to spend that much money on that. Okay. So we've added a little punch of the tinsel tie. And now we just need to finish it up. Like you're thinking, what else could you possibly do? Actually, there's quite a bit, but I'll keep it simplified. We're gonna add our little scatters and fillers to those dull tinsel tie ends. So Hobby Lobby at one point will sell these scatters and fillers that come in brown, green, and orange. I highly recommend you get them. You can use the green, brown, and orange obviously for fall, but you can also add those for Halloween. So I'm going to go around and add orange and green because we have purple pipe cleaners. It doesn't make sense to add purple. We can look. Let's see what a purple looks like. I like the orange. Can you give me my other little container, Steve? It has the bigger one of these. There should be some that are in a smaller container. I need them about this size. Sometimes I use the green. There's green sequins and green glitter balls. I think I'm gonna actually alternate. We'll do sequins on one, glitter ball on another. And I'm just putting these on the ends. Thank you. There's a couple in here. Let's see what we can find. That way it just completely finishes the look.
And what's that, Hobby Lobby has those now?
They will.
The scatters and fillers, I'm sure they do, but not the ghost.
Yeah, no, the little balls.
Yeah, they have the.
Not the ghost attachment. Yeah. So I'm just going around, trying to make sure. How many big ones do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's alternate. Let's see. Let's put 3 to the sides. So I'll show you what it looks like, what we're doing right there. We're adding a green and then an orange, and these get glued on. That's why I have my glue gun out here. I would just punch a hole in them because they're just little styrofoam balls. Punch a hole in them and then hot glue them in place so they become a permanent structure. We're gonna have these out. Let's grab a sequined one. Sometimes they get stubborn and don't want to go, especially the sequin ones. You have to look for where there isn't a sequin on it. Fluff. Let's put this one up. This one can go on the bottom. And then as we get up here, make sure I don't have any of the big ones in here. I think I pulled them all out. So this just means I will have to go find new ones. Put all the green on. Green glitter.
So what do you use to punch a hole in them? Just the end of the pipe cleaner?
Mm-hmm. Just the end of, yeah.
The end of the work frame.
Can you grab me a pipe cleaner in that bag right behind you? I'll show you. They just pop right on the ends. Because these are styrofoam little balls. They just go right smack on the end, super easy. And the best way for me to show you is to demo with a pipe cleaner. In the bag, the brown paper bag, there are pipe cleaners in there. Okay, and I think I've got them all on. Thanks. Okay, pipe cleaner, right? Just a piece of wire on the little fuzzy Chanel stem. You just punch a hole in them, and then you have them on the end. They're really easy to get on. So the black should show up really good, kind of right on the ghost a little bit.
Yeah.
Give them antenna if you want. But this is also another way that you can elaborate and, you know, add things that are fun to your decor. You can make little curlicues like this and add them to your wreath with the little scatters of filler balls. They just kind of, you know, elevate your design a little bit.
I had them in my hand there and put them back. I should have bought them.
Go back and get them.
Well, they'll be there.
Yeah. So you'll want to get them for almost every season. Christmas, like the ones that I'm using that are in here, because when we did the other ghost, we used purple and green. So this purple, green, and pink is at Hobby Lobby. It'll be out in their Christmas section. It's actually their retro Christmas color. This batch right here with the orange, the lime green, and the brown is their fall. And then you'll see them like in solid red, rose gold, gold, silver.
Ooh, yeah.
So you'll want to pick those up when you can. And then just get a whole bunch of Glad containers and stick them in there, and then you can stack them. Okay, we're all done, so let me show you what it looks like.
Marguerite said, love your wreaths, watching from Newfoundland, Canada. Hi, Marguerite, welcome.
Thank you for joining us. Okay, let me fluff his little upper bow, and he is all set and ready to go. We'll just plop him right on the door, and then we'll fix all his little tails for his photo, making sure that everything looks nice and pretty so you can see pretty much everything we used on him. Pull up all his little loops, just like that. And just like that, now you know how to put together your wreath attachments on, and this could easily fit on a Dollar Tree wreath ring. You have the option, you can buy the tinsel ties, or you can do this just like I did it here. There he goes. And just like that, we're all done. Super simple wreath from start to finish. And do you guys have any questions that I can potentially answer for you?
So cute. It's available on your website.
Yep, it's available on my website. If you want to join my private group, that's also available on my website right when you hit the homepage. Love to have you join us. We go live twice a week in our private group, in our design classes. They're 4 times a month, and then there's 4 business classes. But business is also, how do you market? How do you sell your products when you get them? You know, how do you set up a Facebook page? What should you be posting on your Facebook page? And then in September, we drop those business classes, and then it becomes full 8 to 10 design classes every month. So love to have you guys be a part of that. Anything else that I missed?
Evelyn, the boo sign came from Jane's Front Door Decor.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Okay.
Evelyn said, well, snap, that's ding dang adorable.
Thank you. And the nice thing too, here's the only thing that is good about the wreath kits is I was putting together one today, and you know, like how we all get the little ribbon splices in the middle of the ribbon row? Mm-hmm. Well, in the kits, I don't include spliced pieces. I will actually take those, cut them out, and then redo your measurements. The only thing I can't guarantee is on the Deco mesh rolls, because those are brand new sealed. So if you have them, you know, you're just kind of like the rest of us experiencing that horror of what do you do in the middle of your roll when you have a really bad splice? You just cut it out and move on. So,
or if it's in the middle of your 10-inch section or 20-inch section, it goes in the middle of where you're tying it down, and you'll never see it.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, everyone. Well, I hope you all have an amazing weekend. Don't forget to come back on Sunday. We go live late on Sunday. We hit it at 6 p.m. Pacific, which is 8 Central or 9 Eastern time. And I'll try to put together another stellar design for you. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks for joining me. Have a great night, everyone.